And we're back with our Live with Leaders. We had a lot of great feedback about the virtual event we did. Over 10,000 agents and counting, because we got the access still going, tuning in. So that's why we felt like we had to bring everybody back. Like my man Jay Kinder. What's going on, Jay?
What's happening?
Man, it's going really good. And like you guys know, if you guys have any questions, throw them in the comments. We'll try to get to them during our showtime here. But like I was saying, we just want to bring our leaders on, kind of shoot from the hip, right? Like we don't want to send them questions beforehand. We want to get that raw, authentic answer. So,
yeah.
With that being said, I think, Jay, you always tell me you don't even want me to send you the questions beforehand.
No, no. You want it raw from me.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like to script it.
Right. So, I mean, with that being said, we were just talking about this too, man. You got calls back to back with all these agents. You have a group of over, I think, 3,000 or 3,500 agents.
Yeah. 3,500. Yep.
3,500 across the country. So I beg to guess that I don't know how many more people are having more conversations with agents than you.
Man, I'd put my calendar up against anybody's right now.
Right. And it's been that way for quite some time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
As far as like having an ear to ground with all these agents, that's the one thing I want to know. Like, what is the number one problem you're seeing with all these agents coming and talking to you right now?
Man, just got off a call and it's the same everywhere. It doesn't matter what it is. It's they need help with their marketing strategy. They need help with lead generation. It's the number one skill that if they could learn how to do marketing to acquire customer with their own budget. I mean, think about it. In real estate, you spend $500, you make 10 grand, right? Like, tell me where else are you putting your money? Put it into your business. And so, that's the opportunity. And I think most people kind of realize it, but they're a little gun shy because they just don't know what they don't know. And, it's really hard to find somebody who knows how to help them with marketing. And so, because what do I do? Do I do this over here on Instagram? Do I pay someone to post this stuff over here? Like, people are coming at you with offers all the time, and you don't really know what's going to actually get me a customer. Right. And so I think that's the thing that is most needed for sure, because their business is dependent upon their sphere of influence, or it's dependent upon the company they're at, which they could give you more or less of deals any day.
Right.
And so if that's referral and repeat is your only business, then in order for you to break through where you're stuck, you've got to learn the skill of sales and marketing. And that's the number one thing I hear every single day, and that's the number one thing that we're trying to help them solve.
Yeah, and it's funny you bring that up, because I mean, we're going through a lot of your videos from years past, right? It's always the same, like the old school. I always say, it's old school when you see bearded Jay hop on there, right?
Right. Yeah.
So like during some of these videos, that's a common thing. And heck, you guys almost built your own coaching organization based off of that proven, repeatable system.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
Where are you getting your business? Do you know how to get your next client? Do you know where they're coming from? Do you know how much it costs to get that client?
Yes.
Right.
That's an important question.
It's such an important question. And I think I was watching one of your videos from before, and I felt the same way when I heard this video. It spoke to me. So I'm sitting there and you said, I didn't like the numbers until I fell in love with the numbers, because I knew what they represented. Right. Like, as far as like, okay, if I spend this much money in marketing here, this is how much the clients get. Cool. I'm going to 10x that and then put this other one to shame.
Right.
So like you said, like, as far as like marketing, everything goes, like, that's lead gen. That's always been a hot topic. Yep. So tell me, like, what would you tell someone to really, like, the first place they should start looking when it comes to their marketing and their lead generation dollars?
Yeah. First place to start looking, there's two kind of schools of thought. I spent the last 20 years learning to master marketing. I mean, there's untold amount of money. Who knows how much money has been invested and how many books I've read and trying to learn the skill of marketing. And you don't have to do that, right? Like, you can, and you probably should do that too. But, find somebody who's having success. I mean, the cool thing about, especially Facebook today, you could literally, I know Mike Reese did this. This is the first thing I would have done too. He went to the top 25 or the top 100 real estate agents, and then went to their Facebook pages and looked at their ad campaigns to see what ads they were running, to see who in here is a marketer and is spending money in marketing and getting results, because you can tell by looking at what ads they're currently running.
Right.
And so, like, that's just, you can reverse engineer anything. You can, success is duplicatable. Find somebody that you can model that has proven marketing campaigns that they can share with you and do what they did. And That's the best advice I've ever gotten, man. You just got to be a good copycatter and find somebody who's doing it. So there's lots of people that are having success. You can either go find those people, or if you're running in the right circles, you already know who those people are probably.
Yeah, no, and that's
you're talking to two of them. You're looking at two. They can help you.
Well, yeah, man, and that's where I always go back to this mastermind that we had down in Key West 2 years ago. The last one we went to was great. The one 2 years ago opened my eyes to like a whole new world of business and the way everything's ran, right? Because I felt like for so long I was sitting there trying to recreate the wheel, do something brand new, and I'm like, man, I'm sitting in a room with all these people who've already done damn near what I'm trying to do right now, right? So just copycatting a lot of the systems, processes, the marketing, the branding.
You guys ask a lot of questions, and you know what I'm saying? Like you didn't come in with your egos and preconceived ideas, like as much as you ask questions, dig and like, ask what questions should we be asking that we're not asking. Like y'all came in really open-minded to try to learn. And I think that is a key difference. That a lot of people come up with their own ideas, man. It's not about what your ideas are. Like find something that works and run with it. And then you iterate and change it or whatever afterwards.
Yeah. I still remember when I was going through a lot of your old videos too, right? And I had this win the day segment for a while, and I saw on your back like whiteboard you had hashtag win the day from like 9 years ago. I'm like, man, you thought of this way before me. And you sent me an emoji, right? Like, and it was the first time I even saw an emoji. I'm like, how the hell did you do that? But you were like, there's no such thing as an original idea.
That's right.
And again, like that just got me thinking. I'm like, man, that's so right. The biggest thing we started to do recently is we've been watching the news and ESPN and all these different places, not for the reasons you think. See what kind of banners they're using. See what kind of layouts they're using. People already think about, they already say that those are like the authority, right? Like they can see that. So if you can look like that, heck, look at the layout we have now. Guarantee if you go to a news channel, you'll see something similar.
Right.
So that's what we've been kind of doing. But one of those questions that we kind of, that really, that when we were down in Key West, I think we were told to ask this too. It was, if you could go back to the beginning, Jay, when it comes to your marketing and everything you were doing, what would you be doing differently, or what would you do differently?
Well, the good news is if I had to go back to the beginning, I would have Facebook now. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have Facebook. Shoot, you got to be kidding. So, so there's a lot of things that that are just better, right? Like the things I used to do. I did a radio show. Now I would do a podcast, right? And so there's a lot of the same principles. I think I would do a lot of those things the same. It all worked. You know what I'm saying? Because I was always iterating on it and trying to improve upon it. And so, man, I mean, the fun thing is I might get to do it again. I'm thinking that's a bad idea, but like I got my Texas real estate license. I just got to take the test.
Really?
Schedule that. And man, I studied. I actually studied for once because I knew I wouldn't pass if I didn't, because I hadn't seen that information in quite some time. but yeah, so once I want to turn marketing on, and if I was going to do it, the thing I see everybody not do is they never create their own personal brand in a small geographic area where where you jump up and down in the puddle, and like that's what what lights it on fire for every person that we've ever helped is when they become the most recognized, bumped into everywhere person in the marketplace. And that's when you start getting the inbound, right? Like people picking up. I remember walking in the office one day and it was like 2 people called me from whatever it was, radio or billboard or something like that. And I was like, man, I was only gone for like a few hours and I come back and 2 more people called me wanting to list the house.
Right.
This is how you should do it, man. Like this is a great business, right? Like I'll never go back to just hitting the phones. Like, but I did hit the phones. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't afraid to hit the phones. I did hit the phones. I still would hit the phones and hit that low hanging fruit. That's where you develop the sales skills and you get to practice. And then you start doing marketing. You don't have to practice on the people you spend a bunch of money marketing to get. And so man, I wouldn't change a whole lot about I tend to forget the things that didn't work, so they're almost like they didn't happen.
right.
But there's probably more things that didn't work that did work. But I'm confident in what I would go do. It's just it would just be a matter of time before people would see me everywhere on Instagram. They see me everywhere. You wouldn't be able to go anywhere without seeing my ugly face. And real simple. They when they Google my name, what's going to come up is going to be a page that's talking directly to that person that wants to sell their house right now. That's, and a lot of people make that mistake too. Like even if you get to that stage, you got to understand what does a consumer do when they see a billboard? I mean, I can tell you this: in Dallas, people they don't have no clue because they run these billboards. these billboards, and there's, it's not even clear what your name is. Your name's not your URL. Your team name is your URL. Like, people ain't gonna remember that shit. They're just gonna be like, whatever. What was that guy's name? I don't know. Just call so and so down the street.
Now they're just gonna remember. I want to call somebody.
Right. Yeah. And they're gonna Google what they remember. And if you can't, if and they're not even going to go to the URL, they're going to Google what they saw on that URL. And so, like, you got to understand the consumer, the patterns that consumers take when they're marketed to. But yeah, it's just a matter of investing into your business. I mean, it's crazy, dude. I was making, $135,000 average sale price in Lawton, Oklahoma, dude. The houses here it's ridiculous how much you make in a commission. Like, nobody's a marketer here. There's nobody doing it. It's just, it's baffling to me. So I'm kind of excited that I might just stick my toe in the water there and see what happens.
Just a little bit, see if you.
I know it's going to be work, and that's the thing. I'm not sure I want to do or not. I'm not sure if it is work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, the marketing part's not that much work, but the rest it is work. And so I'd have to, I have to decide if it's something I want to do. But I think I'm going to do it just so I can document it and show people it can be done. Yeah,
especially with the process you have in place. And I know the something that you've talked to us before about as well, I think it was at an event that we came to, was when you're talking about like the life cycle of your clients too. Like, how long does it take them to get through your markening plan? And I think the one you were bringing up was when you're running TV ads, right? And like, you didn't realize that it would take this long to get the first client. And before we even get into that, about the amount of money you spent doing that, what we're doing right now, it's absolutely free, right? Like, going live on Facebook, going on Instagram, a lot of these places, it's absolutely free. You get your face, you get your brand recognition, which is what you want to get on these billboards and other places. Like you said, you want people to remember your name. I don't think we can expect anybody to stop on the highway, write down your phone number as they're looking up on the billboard, right? That
you can't beat this, dude. This is better than anything. Yeah. I noticed, like, when I went from print, I was doing mostly print, newspaper, like postcards, newspaper, billboards. There's no personality in that, right? So, and the minute I did radio, man, it gave me a personality for the people that didn't know me. And so that was, and then with that audience, which is what was most important, was that audience that was listening to me all got to know me. And so that gave it another advantage over every other media, radio, and TV, similar. There's challenges with TV in terms of placement and this consumption and getting people to hear a message over and over again. Which in radio, we did that pretty well because we had a first in rotation spot, came right out of a live read. It was just every single day at 7:50, you were going to hear me. I was there, part of the show, like I was there in the studio. And so that worked really. I got the number of impressions up fast. And so like in 21 days, in 3 weeks, they had already seen, enough times to now they're starting to think about me first. And so it was really interesting to see how that worked. But with video today, obviously there's more of it all around us at all times. But if you get the right hook, like today we were talking, me and John Kitchens was talking on one of the podcasts, one of the 3 or 4 of these I've been on today. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm doing well. At least I'm doing what we're preaching. But we were talking about what would be, the headlines for something, that content you would create today. And I would be like, everything would have COVID-19 something in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 3 things you must know before you list your house post COVID-19, right? Like that, because somebody will click on that if they are in it. Cause you got to think, what is the consumer thinking right now? Like, I don't even know what stores are open right now. I haven't left the house. They unlocked me from the house. I ain't gone anywhere because I don't even know it's open. Like,
you can't leave the house, so that's a whole other story.
I'm on calls all day, so this is what I was doing before COVID-19. But it's people are kind of a little bit not sure. Like, hey, can we list a house right now? Is it good time or bad time? Like, you should be putting out content that's relative to what's going on right now. It's the best time. And if you're putting out content like that, people stop the scroll and they're like, oh, that's for me right here.
Check that out.
We got to check this out.
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing about, Facebook and video and the opportunity it brings. You can really provide some valuable content. And, people get to know you a little bit and, ultimately grow your business.
Yeah. And as you know, we deal with content a little bit here or there, but
you do.
Man, the biggest problem we see, and this is with every agent, is that it takes too long to create it. It takes too long in the creative process, and you don't just take the action, right? At the end of the day, like you said it great. It's the personality. It's them getting to know who you are. It's the whole purpose we create content, right? To make the impressions, get in front of them, know who we are, and get that personality out there. That's how we always say. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, we always help. We tell people we help you with speed and precision. We're gonna help you do the right things faster in the right order and take action. Right? We had this saying. It's called good, better, best. Good is the best. You can always keep trying to make it better. You can always try and chase perfection, or you just roll it out. Good. Let's go. Good. Let's
Absolutely.
Go. Yeah.
100%, man. What is it? Dave Knorr says all the time. He said the road to success is paved with indecisive turtles, flattened turtles.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we just got the header for our Instagram on this one. Just so you know.
right. There you go. That is good. Yeah. So, but just like, let me tell you what stops people too. And this stops me, right? Like you guys have unlocked me in terms of content. And so I really appreciate what you guys do. But like this banner, look at this little banner right here. I want to lick the screen. That thing's so pretty. Like, I don't even know what program I need to have to even make a banner. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like I couldn't make one of these if you gave me all the time in the world. And I mean, if I thought I knew how, I would have already made one. So I had Canva and some other stuff. I'm like, I can't, it's not, man, it's just not my brain. It's not how it works.
Right.
So, that's, that kind of stuff, man, that makes your stuff look clean and things that you guys can do to help people get unlocked so they can start creating content. Yeah. It's golden, man. It's golden.
No, I really do appreciate that. And that's something that we decided to do too. I know working with Michael as well. It's we have very contrasting personalities in the way we work, and it works really well for us.
Oh, it's a perfect team.
I don't like. I do a lot of stuff he doesn't like, right?
Right. And you guys are literally the perfect match for what y'all are doing.
Yeah.
Y'all have two approaches you come at it from, and it's you guys are a great team.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that I've been working with Michael too, and that we really cohesively done now is we call it systematizing creativity, right? The creative process can take months, sometimes weeks. Now we're just like, okay, let's take some things that we've already built. Let's plug some of these logos and stuff into it and boom, go. Right. Like we stop trying to recreate the wheel. We look at what somebody else does. We're like, all right, let's just duplicate that. Right. We look at Grant Cardone. We look at Gary Vee. We look at Brad, like all these other guys on Instagram, these places. All right, can we create that? Yeah, it's working for them. Let's go.
Right. Don't need to overthink it.
Yeah, no, that's what I think that's what everybody does, right? You got to come up with your own brand, all this new stuff. No,
the people that are taking action and moving forward, the ones that are still, they're still on the highway flattened out are the ones that just couldn't decide on that color for their frame or their iframe, right?
Nobody. I think that was a great book. It was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, right?
Right.
So in that book, he was talking about. He's like, man, when you sit there all morning trying to figure out which shade of blue hat that you should wear this outfit. 9 out of 10 people aren't even going to give a crap. They're not even going to look at your hat. Right. Like, and it's just, sometimes it's those little things that can hold you back. And it's just about, boom, let's get this done. Let's get it done fast.
Yep. Because it'll always get better. The next one will be better. The next one will be better.
Yeah. You always figure out things along the way, right? Like the first time you hold your event, you can try and prepare for it all you want, but there's gonna be problems you don't see coming. You know, that goes with our virtual events that we just did too. We could have sat there and talked about it for a couple weeks, but we decided literally the night that COVID shut everything down, we came up with a game plan for our virtual events, right? And then I texted everybody the next morning. So it's just like, we're just going to take action and figure it out later.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So we're about to be signing off here, Jay. Like, give me one, one good action step for agents to take after this conversation that we just had.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say it again because I'm afraid somebody wasn't listening earlier.
Yeah.
What I would do right now is I would make a list of the content piece. This is where we're going to take a little bit of time to think through what are the three most important things that they need to think about if they're going to list their home post COVID. Yeah. And I would start with just that as a headline and shooting a video, going live with that, and putting that out into the marketplace. Be the person that's relevant, and then have a call to action for what you want them to do. Have a call to action and tell them to do that. Tell them that if you're thinking about selling, reach out to me here and tell them what to do. And so, that's what I would do. It's not gonna, if it gets you a deal, if it doesn't get you a deal, what did it cost you? Nothing. Right. Yeah. Just start. Exactly. Start somewhere.
And that's a great little tidbit. If you guys didn't catch that, have a call to action. If you don't tell people to go somewhere, there's a good chance they won't do it. Right.
Right.
I always like to say, it's like dealing with kids. Thankfully, I always knock on wood. I don't have any right now. So I don't have any kids, but I got a bunch of little cousins that I would always babysit. Right. How many times do you have to tell Riggs to do something before he finally does?
Yeah, me once. Amber 10 to 15. Like he ain't listening. Yeah. They play that game all the time. Like they know that I don't say it more than once. I'm gonna say it once and that's it. And if I say it again, they're in trouble. But that's the balance between me and Amber's parenting. They get away with a lot with Amber for sure.
So I always say, like, with the audience, you have to treat it like most kids besides Riggs and Jay. Apparently, Riggs is a good kid, but
he's dishonoring.
Like, generally speaking, how many times do you have to tell a kid to do something or learn something before they learn?
They got to hear it a lot.
They got to hear it a lot. It's the same thing with your audience. You can't tell your audience to go somewhere once and just sit there and expect your bank account to fill up, right? You got to tell them over and over, and it's the same thing with your content.
Which
is why it leads me.
Let me ask you this: once you give them a tidbit, since we're on this topic. So what would you do? What content or what would be the call to action or something to try to capture that from, if you would even do this, with that audience that you have that maybe watches this video and you want to drive them to do something? Would you try to drive them to an opt-in, or would you just keep them in the audience and try to get them in your calendar? What would you be?
Great question. So you asked me, what am I doing on this live? Because we do have a call to action for that.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we do.
Why don't you just demonstrate your authority?
Yeah. So what we want to do is, like you see here, we went live with Jay. We also had 10,000 people tune into our last event because we had 16 great world-renowned speakers on this event. If you guys go to replay.livewithleaders.com, you're going to get free access to 16 world-renowned speakers. We dropped some massive tips and got amazing feedback. It's absolutely free. Replay.livewithleaders.com. Like you were just saying, what would I do? I would make it an opt-in or a downloadable for everybody else.
Yep.
Right. You could, and then here's the thing. Here's a great thing too. We call this residual content, right? Everybody loves residual income. What about residual content? Come up with your list of maybe like 15 different things that they should do post quarantine or post COVID, and then post 3. Talk about those 3. Hey, to go get the full list, download it below. Post the next 3. Make a video about that. Download it below. So you can keep giving away 3 more, and you don't have to come up with new content because it's just taken off the sheet. Make the list of 15, post about 3, and you have 5 videos right there.
There you go.
That's
it.
Super simple.
Good stuff, man.
All right, Jay. I appreciate you coming on as always. It's always a pleasure. And like we say, replay.livewithleaders.com. Get the full access to over 8 hours of free real estate training. Jay, we'll see you next time.
Peace.